Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make Barbie's house from the show Barbie Life in the Dreamhouse. If you enjoyed this tutorial, all I ask is that you please hit that like button as it really helps me and the channel out immensely. That's pretty much everything. Let's get started. So before we begin, I can tell you that this house will require a 57 block by a 56 block area. 57 blocks left to right and 56 blocks front to back. We will also need all of these materials that I have in my inventory right now. Please pause the video to make sure that you grab every single one of these, and once you do have them all, we may begin. So once you do have all of these things, and if you have made this grid in your world, you want to come to the front left hand corner of the grid, and to make sure that we're building in the same spot inside of our grids, you're on the front left hand corner and you want to count inwards by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. We then want to count right by 1, 2, 3. And then that way you see we're both starting in the same place. So there is some logic to that. We then on this spot want to build upwards by 5 using white concrete. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We then want to go right by 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then connect that 5th block down to the ground using your white concrete. Then take the block that hit the ground and place a pink concrete to the right of it. And then in front of the pink concrete, place 2 pink concrete. 1, 2. Then go upwards by 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Place a white concrete on top and go right of the white concrete by 9. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then extend that 9th white block towards you by 2, 1, 2, and then go right by 10. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then move inwards again by 2. So that's 1, 2. And then go right, using your white concrete again, go right by 9. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then connect that 9th block down to the ground using pink concrete, like this. You then want to take the pink concrete that hit the ground and you want to go right of it by 1. You want to go right of it by 1 and then towards you 1. And then you want to place 2 bottom right diagonals as if you're looking down at the ground like one in front to the right diagonally. And then another. Go right by 2. 1, 2. Then do 2 up right diagonals going like back to the right. 1, 2. Go up by 2. 1, 2. Do 2 up back diagonals. 1, 2. Left by 2. 1, 2. And then 2 bottom left diagonals like 1, 2. So you want to have made this circular shape right here. And what we then want to do is we want to take the middle right hand side of this circular shape right here. I do believe that that's the right block. I don't want to get this wrong, do I? You want to take this bottom right hand side here and you want to go right of it. You want to go right of it by 9 using your pink concrete. So the middle block, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then go up on top of that 9th block by 8. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And place a white concrete on top of that. You then want to extend that white concrete backwards towards the back of the build by 16. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. And you can connect that 16th block down to the ground using pink concrete if you like. However, we also have to extend this 16th block across the back of the build by 25. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Then extend that 25th block towards you by 2. 1, 2. And then go right by 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then move inwards by 2 again. So that's 1, 2. And then go right by 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And connect that 9th block all the way to the front of the build. Like this. So essentially what we want to have should look exactly like this. Which isn't looking too bad at the moment, I have to say. Okay, so, you know what, we're on the back of the build, right? Why don't we actually do some building on the back of the build? We usually start on the front of the time. Let's start on the back. So come all the way over to the bottom left-hand side of the build. All the way over here. You want to take this block that we have joined to the ground on the back of the build. As a matter of fact, it's the only one that is on the back of the build that is joined to the ground. And you want to go right of this by 1 using pink concrete. And place 2 white concrete on top. 1, 2. Place glass next to that. And then white next to that. And then pink next to that. And then white next to that. Then glass. Then white. Place 3 rows of pink on top of all of this. 1, 2, and 3. And then copy what we did down below. So on the left, we want to place white concrete, glass, white concrete, pink, white concrete, glass, white concrete. And then we just want to double that up. We want to place on top of every single one of those, we want to place an additional white concrete and or pink and or glass, like that. Okay. Now we want to come to this particular point on the build right here, this corner block, and we want to connect it down using pink concrete, like this. So we're going to connect some of this down to the ground now, so right here. And left of this we want to place an entire row of pink, like this. And then we want to take the bottom pink block and we want to go left of it by 1. And on top of that place a white concrete, left of that a glass, white, pink, white, glass, white. And on top of all of that, place the same. So on top of all of the white and glass and pink, place the same. And then on top of that, place 3 rows of pink. So that'll be 1, 2, and 3 rows of pink. Then copy what we have down below. So starting from the left here, it's a white, glass, white, pink, white, glass, white. Same thing that we've done down below. And then we want to copy it again, and we want to do the exact same thing for the next row, just like this. That's perfect. Okay, next thing, we want to take the row of pink that we placed in the corner here, and we want to extend it forwards by 2 rows. We want to do 1 and 2. And you see, that'll actually fill out this little corner area here where we placed the row of white concrete. Then you want to take the very bottom pink block and you want to extend it to the right by 3. 1, 2, 3. And then place a glass on top. And then magenta to the right. 2 magenta on top. 1, 2. And then 2 magenta to the right. 1, 2. 2 magenta down. 1, 2. And then place glass all the way around this. So glass all the way around, just like this. We're going to place pink concrete underneath the door, and then an actual door inside, like that. We also want to connect the corner white block here down to the ground using your pink concrete too. So you just want to connect it all the way down to the ground like that. And then you want to add 2 rows of pink behind it to fill out the actual corner area. So just add 2 rows of pink directly behind to fill out that corner there nicely. And then you want to take the very bottom pink block and you want to extend it to the right. You want to do 2 blocks to the right. You want to do 1, 2. And then on top of that, place a white concrete. And to the right, a glass, white, pink, white, glass, white, pink, like that. Place all of these same on top, so where you have all of the pink and all of the white, place all of that on top, and all of the glass, of course. And then place 3 rows of pink on top of that, so that's going to be 1, and then 2, and then 3, just like this. And then you want to copy what you have down below, left to right, so going from left to right, we place a pink, white, glass, white, pink, white, glass, white, pink. And then you copy it for the next row. You just want to copy that directly on top. And once you have done that, you should end up with something that should look fairly simple. It's like this, basically. And we've actually not done too bad a job at all in doing this. That's a lot of the back complete. Okay, so we want to take this sticky out area on the back, above where the entrance is, or the exit, however you want to look at it, the back door. You want to take this long row of white concrete here, and you want to add 5 rows of pink concrete on top of it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Going from left to right, on top of this, you just want to fill out this wall. There is a lot less detail on the back of the house than there is the front, which is, I think, another good excuse to start on the back. After you have placed your 5 rows of pink, finish it off by placing an entire row of white concrete, like so. So far, this is what we want to have on the back of the build, alright? That is pretty good at the moment. We're not going to continue much more on the back, we're now going to move to the right hand side. So the right hand side we are just going to fill in using pink concrete, okay? That's all we're going to do here. We want to completely fill in the right hand side using pink concrete. There is no detail on the right hand side, there is detail on the left, the front and the back, so I thought that I would spare the right hand side, not being able to see what was actually here, and after modifying the house a little bit, I did decide to leave one of the sides at the very least a little bit blank. But it's a very small wall and the house does not really degrade from not having any detail on this right hand side. So, now that we've done a bit of the back, why don't we do a little bit at the front of the house? So the first thing that I want to do at the front of the house involves the tower. There is a tower on the front of the house, and as a matter of fact it's easy to find because it's where we have this circular bit. It kind of looks like a magnifying glass if you look at it right, or I don't even know what that is, but it kind of looks like a magnifying glass at the right angle. What we want to do is we want to take the front of it, where we have these 3 pink blocks, and we want to place white concrete on top of these, like this. And then we want to place a white concrete back left diagonally and back right. But the difference here is on top of the single white concretes, we want to place 10 white concretes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and the same on the other side. Of course, we don't have to count that out. We want to place glass on top of the row of 3. The glass wants to come as high, almost as high. It wants to actually be one row off of the top of the white rows that you've just placed. So make sure that it's about as high, but one row shorter than the white. And the reason for that is once you've done that, you then want to add a row of white on top of it. So really making a frame for the window. You then want to take all of the surrounding pink blocks that we have in the rest of our circle, and the pink blocks want to be raised as high as the white concrete that we have just placed. So place pink upon the white, on top of the pink concrete, until it is as high as the white that is just in front of it. So all you have to do is just make all of the rows as high as each other, and this is going to be, it's quite a cool feature of the house actually. It's kind of like this little tower, which has the big giant window of course, and it also has a B on top of it. It really does distinguish itself from the rest of the house. So like that, that's what we want to have so far. Place 2 rows of pink on top of the towers. So going all the way around the top, you want to begin by placing 1 row of pink, like this, all the way around. And then another row of pink. So 2 rows of pink all the way around the top of the tower, like this. Then place a row of white concrete on top of the pink, like this, white on top of the pink concrete. We then want to place actually, we want to place magenta concrete. I had to just tell myself to back off there. I almost said the wrong thing. We want to place magenta concrete going all the way around the top of the white concrete. And what I mean by this is, actually, I'll show you. So place magenta on top of the white concrete like this. So just on top of the white concrete directly like that. And then place a row of magenta concrete on the outside of what you've just made. So you're effectively extending it outwards by 1 row, but you just want to like add a layer on the outside like that, just kind of like going all the way around it, just like so. I don't know how better else to say it. Then you want to place a row of magenta concrete on top of the original row of magenta, so it should be quite easy to find it. You want to place a row of magenta on top of the original row of magenta. Then above and inside of the last row of magenta, place an additional row of magenta. It'll end up looking kind of like a square shape like this. Like that. Then you want to shrink the corners in by 1, so just like place a single magenta in each one of the 4 corners, like this. You then want to create a plus shape that sits nicely in the empty space that you have just created at the top of the tower, like that. And then raise up the middle block by 1 using magenta. Then place a purple concrete on top. Extend it left 1 and up by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Extend that 4th block right 1. Extend the middle block right 1 as well. And then you want to add a diagonal purple concrete here to connect the bottom together and the top. So like 1 here and 1 here like this. And that will give you a nice B shape. And that is the tower on the front of the house. Now that you've done that, let's tackle the little bit to the right of it. So you want to take the white concrete block here and you want to extend it over to the left, like that, to hit the tower. You want to take the very bottom block, you can take the bottom right hand corner block here in this empty space that we've created, and in this corner block you want to place a white concrete. Left of it a glass, left of it a white concrete, pink, white, glass, white, and on top of all of it, place the same. So you guys know the drill. On top of all of the glass, place glass, the white, white, and pink, pink. place 3 rows of pink on top of all of this. So that's going to be 1, 2, and 3. And then on top of this, going from left to right, place the exact same color combination. So like a white, glass, white, pink, white, glass, white. And you want to do the same thing again. So you want to double up on that row, and it'll end up looking a little something like this. Now, once you've done that, we'll end up with something that should look like this, which doesn't look too bad at the moment at all. I mean, obviously, we've got a lot to be desired, but, you know, we're getting there. We're getting there. Okay, so now we're going to focus on this middle area right here. We want to take the corners, so like the front left-hand corner of this middle bit, and the front right-hand corner of this middle bit, and we want to place 2 pink concretes coming down from the corners. 1, 2, and 1, 2. And then place white concrete coming down from the corners of the pink. So white concrete coming all the way down from the corners of the pink. Like this. We then want to place a row of pink underneath the white concrete at the top, connecting the left hand side to the right. We then want to place, coming in from the left and the right, 2 white concrete each. So 1, 2, and 1, 2. And then place a pink coming inwards, 1, 1, and then place white in between. And then extend the left white down and the right white down. And then extend the white outwards. And then down. So extend the white all the way down like this. So here and also here. Just like that. What we also want to do is we want to take the sides of this and we want to add 2 rows of pink concrete coming backwards. So like 1 and 2 rows of pink just coming directly back like this. So just to kind of fill out the frame a little bit, just like that. And you want to connect those rows of pink together, by the way. So like you want to extend them left and right, just like that. You then want to place a row of white concrete in front of the pink. And then you want to connect the bottoms of the pillars together as well, using white concrete. You also want to take the very center of the pink concrete and you want to place a door on top of the middle, like this. It should be fairly easy to see where you've got to place it. It's parallel to the back door. Then place magenta all the way around the door. Like that. We are then going to extend the top of this inward. So what I mean by this is you want to take the white concrete arch at the top and you want to extend it inwards like this. So the white concrete wants to basically come in as far as the pink concrete that you have in the sides like this. So just the top of it. You don't have to extend the pillars as well. And the reasoning for this is because we now want to fill all the way around the door in using light blue glass, and it looks a little bit weird if the glass doesn't have anything to grip onto. Like if we would have left that blank, it'd look a little bit weird. From the outside it looks like that and it looks good, but it would look strange. Like if you could look up now, it'd look strange if it had nothing to grip onto. That's the only point that I'm making. Anyway, once you have done that, we now want to also, we want to make it look a little bit more interesting. And we just want to place a row of white concrete that begins here, just left of the left pillar, and it goes right of the right pillar, like that. And we want to place quartz slabs all the way around it. And the quartz slabs don't want to touch together at the corners, by the way. They want to look a little something like that. By the way, we also want to place here, so like right in the middle of the build, here, we want to place a purple concrete. So that's just above the middle of the door and below the middle of the frame. And we want to place an upside down quartz stairs to the right and left. and we want to place quartz slabs on top of it all and below the middle. And that is just a little insignia. It's pretty much the exact same thing that is on the actual Dreamhouse. Don't ask me why it is though, I just know that it's there, pretty much. Okay, next we want to add an entire row of pink concrete on top of like this middle part. So like left to right, an entire row of pink. And then on top of that row of pink, left to right, place a pink concrete, 2 glass, 1, 2, white concrete. Actually, I'm sorry, you then, causing a mess here. After the 2 glass, want to place a pink, white concrete, glass, white concrete, pink, 2 white concrete, pink, like that. And then place 2 additional rows on top. So all of the white extend up, all of the glass extend up, all of the etc. You guys get the idea. We've done this a few times already. So you want to do that once and then twice. You want to do that 2 times in total, just directly on top of all of the materials, whatever they are. You just want to add them on. Then place an entire row of pink concrete on top of this, followed by an entire row of white concrete on top of that. Just like that. Easy enough, right? Not too bad. Okay, so next thing, we want to use our quartz slab, and we want to place quartz slabs in front of the bottom of the 2 windows on the left and right, and in front of the tops of the windows on the left and right like this, just to give them a little bit more of a frame. We also want to use our white concrete to connect the top corners of this backwards. So we want to connect the top corners of the entrance to the back. So you want to take both the top left hand corner, the top right hand corner, using your white concrete and just extend it backwards by 1 row like this. So we just want to have something which should look exactly like that. And as you can see, it's starting to look a little bit grander, isn't it? We're starting to get a little somewhere with this. Okay, next thing, grab your purple concrete. We're going to put a roof on the middle part. You want to place a row of purple concrete that goes all the way around, above and around the outside. Is it purple? I don't know why I said purple, ladies and gentlemen. It's magenta. It's not purple. It's magenta we want to use. We want to place magenta going all the way around the above and outside of the top of the middle part of the build. Now this is quite big. We're going to end up with a large rectangular shape going all the way around the top and outside of this particular part of the house like this. So it'll just look like that. Fairly easy, really. Then we want to do this again, except we want to, above and inside of this shape, we want to place a row of magenta concrete that is, once again, it's 1 row above and 1 row inside. You see, what we're now doing is we are slowly going to shrink this shape until we eventually end up so that we only have 1 row available to us. So that's the second layer. And the next layer would be, again, it's like 1 row above, 1 row inside. And we are going to keep repeating this pattern. And by the way, this gets easier and easier and easier, and faster, luckily. Because eventually you will go all the way around the top so many times that you will only be able to do it with another row. So I want you guys to keep repeating this same technique. You'll only be able to do it a handful of times, maybe like 6 or 7 in total, before it gets a little bit too steep. But you can see us persisting with this. This is going to be the middle part of the roof, and there are 2 more additional roofs as well. However, they're very easy, and we shouldn't have any trouble with them whatsoever. We are almost at the point here. We have just, after this one, this is the second to last. After this one, we just have 1 more row of pink to add, or magenta as it is. It looks like pink to me, but everybody sees colours differently apparently. And we just want to fill in the top here using our magenta concrete like this, and eventually we will end up with an effect that should look exactly like that, and that is perfect. That's exactly what we're after. Okay, next part. You guys are probably wondering to yourselves, you might not be, wondering to yourselves, what are we going to be doing next? Well, all we have to do here on the front is fill in the left-hand side and the right-hand side of the build. And it's actually, we do the same thing on both sides, but here it is, okay? So you want to begin by connecting, like this is the left side next to the entrance. You want to connect the bottom of the build together left to right, like that, okay? You then want to locate the middle of this wall. It should be quite easy to find. You want to locate the middle of this wall and place a white concrete. You want to place a pink concrete in front of it. You'll have the same amount of blocks on either side. You should have 4 either side of you. And extend that pink concrete left by 2, 1, 2, and right by 2, 1, 2, like that. And then extend up the left pink concrete by, you want to extend it up by 2, 1, 2, and the right one, 1, 2. And place glass in between, like this. Just place glass in between. And extend the pink concrete backwards by a row as well to sink it into the wall. We then want to place white concrete in front of the bottom of the window, like this. And we also want to place white concrete on the top of the window as well. And you want to extend the white concrete above, towards you, and also right and left, like that. So you'll end up with a window that should look very much like this. You then want to take the top left-hand corner of the wall, which is here, and you want to place a pink concrete in the corner, a white concrete underneath, place a glass next to it, then a white, then a pink, white, glass, white, pink. And then take all of those blocks and extend them 1 row below. So all of the white extend down, all of the pink extend down, all of the glass extend down. And you'll end up with something that should look very much like that. That's looking pretty good. Now that you've done that on that side, guess what? Next thing, we have to do it on this side too. So on this right hand side, we're going to begin by connecting the bottom of the wall together using pink concrete, like this. You then want to locate the middle of the wall, and you want to place 1 block in front of it. You know that it's the middle because you have 4 blocks to the left of you, 4 blocks to the right, and we're stuck in the middle. We extend the pink block left by 2, 1, 2, and right by 2, 1, 2, like that. We then extend the left pink block up by 2, 1, 2, and also backwards as well. And then the right pink block up by 2, 1, 2, and also backwards as well. We fill the middle of it in using light blue glass. And then we want to place white concrete on top of this, white concrete on top of that, in front, and then extend the white to the right and left. And also place a layer of white in front of the bottom of the window to give you this effect. We then want to take the top right hand corner of the area that we're building in, and we want to place a pink concrete in the corner, underneath it a white concrete, to the left of the white a glass, white, pink, white, glass, white, pink. And then underneath all of that, you want to place pink underneath the pink, white underneath the white, and glass underneath the glass. So we will end up with something that should look very much like this. I'm guessing you guys are seeing how full this build is getting, right? This isn't looking too bad at the moment. Alright, next thing we're going to do is we are going to do the roof. The large roof that extends from one side of the build all the way to the right side of the build. And we're going to focus here on the left hand side first. Okay, so on the left hand side of the build, you want to work your way over here if you guys haven't already. And this is how we want to do it. On top of this row of white that extends from one side to the other, the front to the back, you want to leave 1 block off of the ends and then place a row of pink concrete on top. So a row of pink concrete from left to right like this, leaving 1 block exposed on either side. And then you want to add another row of pink, and the pink is on top of it, and it leaves 1 block either side, going from left to right. The pink is 1 block either side, left to right. And then we want to do the same thing. We want to do this one more time, actually. It's just one more time. We want to place a row of pink concrete left to right, leaving 1 block alone on either side to create kind of like, you know, like a pyramid or something that's perhaps a little bit more steep, but you guys get the idea. That's what we want to have. I think there's a name for that shape right there, actually. I don't know it because I'm stupid, but that is what we want to have right there. We then want to grab our magenta concrete, and we want to place magenta concrete on the outside of this shape. So by outside, I'll show you what I mean. Beginning from the sides of the build, so like the front and the back, we want to have placed a magenta concrete that is in front of the white concrete that just sits on the outside of this shape. And we want to extend that magenta concrete towards us by one row. All of them magenta just towards us by one row like this. And that looks pretty good to me. And what we also want to do is we want to then connect it together in the corners too. So you want to connect all of it together in the corners to make it look a little bit better than just like just a roof that's a little bit less sophisticated. But that's what we want to have. And then you want to extend all of the magenta concretes that you can, extend them all to the side of the house. So you want to extend them all as far in as about here, because they would otherwise connect to a wall. You only have to extend them to here, as you can see me doing, where they would connect to the middle of the build. And you know, it's quite easy to do. It's a very, very simple roof. And we will be doing the same thing on the right hand side. It's just that we want to get this part done first. And you know what, whilst we are on this side, I might even take advantage of this, and I might do the little overhang and like gazebo area that is on this side of the house. But you can see how far you want to extend inwards. It's where the wall would be, so like it's like right here. Eventually, at some point in time, there'll be a wall, so you don't have to, you know, keep going or anything. But you will end up with something that should look exactly like that, and you can see it. You know, it really does make a difference with the house. It does look quite good, if I do say so myself. Okay, so next thing that we're going to do here is we're going to do this. We want to build an extension on the left-hand side of the house. And to do this, we have to come to the back left-hand corner of the house, which is here, and we have to connect it down to the ground using pink concrete. And then you want to take the pink concrete block that you've just placed and extend it forwards by 2. So like 1, 2 in the ground. Then place a white concrete coming inwards from that and go up on top of it by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then right by 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then connect downwards. And then connect the 5th block also to the front of the build as well, like this. It would also benefit us to fill in this wall on the side of the house. So like this, the left-hand side of the house, I'm just going to completely fill it in using pink concrete. Later on, we are going to be adding some entrances, but they're very, very simple entrances anyway, and it won't cause us too much bother to just knock out a few blocks, you know, where we are right now, when the time comes to actually add the entrances anyway. So we're just going to fill in this wall because I do think it might help a little bit. And once you've finished, can I get out here? I can get out here. You'll have something which should look like this. We're also going to fill this in as well. Like, we're going to fill the top of this in using pink concrete like this. Just all the way around the inside, just pink concrete. We're just going to fill the top of this little balcony area in too. Just like this. We also want to extend the corner blocks, so like the front left-hand corner and the back left-hand corner of the extension. You want to extend them upwards each by, at the very least, 4. Like 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, 4. And also 1, 2, 3, 4. Like that. And you want to connect these together using oak fence, I do believe. Do we want to connect them together using oak fence? Yes, we do. We're going to connect these together using oak fence. So all the way around, you guys can see what I'm on about. Oak fence all the way around. And we want to place upside down quartz stairs all the way around the top of this. So all the way around the white concrete, around this little part here, we want to place the upside down quartz stairs. And also, at the front of the build, and the back of the build, where we have these archways, you want to place a pink concrete in the top 2 corners, and you want to place upside down quartz stairs underneath of and inside of the pink concretes like this to create a nice archway effect. Same on the front too, so on the front like a pink, stair on either side like that. It just creates a nice little effect like that. What we also want to do is we want to create a bit of a roofing area here. So you want to use magenta concrete, right? And you want to begin... you know what? It might be easier to show you with purple concrete. I'm going to use purple concrete. And this is how we're going to create the roof for this overhang. We're going to place a row of magenta concrete. This will be magenta, by the way. A row of magenta concrete just inside of the roof like this. Inside of this roofing area like this. So you can see where I've placed the purple. This is where the magenta is going to come from. And we want to place a layer of magenta concrete coming outwards that overhangs the... what shall I call it? That overhangs the extension by 1 row. So you can see where we're building from. This slots in very nicely just from the roof that we've made here, you see. So it's just like 1 row inwards. It just sits gently inside of what we've made like this. And it is going to overhang the side of this also. As I've said, it wants to overhang the side of this by 1 row as well. So eventually you'll have something which should look like that, right? And we want to join it together in the corners as well. The outside of it wants to join together in the corners. And I'm just going to extend the white concrete upwards, just so that it does also connect to the overhang too. And if you want to create an entrance, you find the middle of these sides. So like we're on the 2nd story here, we find the middle, place a door, you place purple concrete all the way around the door, like this. And there you have an entrance. And the same goes down for here as well. Like you find the middle, door, and then all the way around the door, you just place some purple concrete. If indeed you do want an entrance leading out onto these 2 parts of the house. And what that will give you once you have finished that, you'll end up with something that looks exactly like this, which is really cool because that is a large majority of the house actually complete at this point in time. Next, we want to come all the way to the right hand side here, and we want to copy the roof that we have over there onto this side. So it's quite easy to do. We want to, on top of the row of white concrete that we have on this side of the house, at the top that goes front to back, we want to place a row of pink concrete on the top of this, left to right, leaving a block off of 1 each side, like that. And then we want to do the same thing again, leaving a block off 1 each side, just a row of pink like that. And then once more, we're going to place a row of pink on top of this, leaving a block off 1 each side like that. We're then going to place purple concrete on the not purple. Why do I always say purple? We then want to place a row of magenta concrete on the outside of the shape that we have just created like this. And the magenta concrete wants to come all the way down as far as the top of the house in front of the white concrete. And then we want to extend the magenta concrete 1 row towards us as well, like this. So just 1 row towards us like that. And then we're going to join it together in the corners too. So we're going to join together all of the magenta concrete in the corners like this. Perfect. And then we want to extend all of these blocks, every single one of them. This is going to be quite a task. We want to extend them all the way to the center of the house. That's exactly what we're going to be doing. We want to extend all of them to the center of the house. It's going to take quite a while. So I am going to personally be quiet and give my voice a rest whilst we are extending every magenta block to the center of the house. And do bear in mind, by the way, that you will have to negotiate with the tower on the front of the house. That is, like, you'll have to just like move your way through it and just work around it. Like, you still want to build the parts of the roof, however you obviously won't be able to do all of them where the tower are. So you guys will be, I'm sure you'll be able to see what you have to do here. And there we go. So now you can see that the roof has been filled in. And for the most part, the house looks a little bit run down at the moment. But for the most part, we've done a large amount here. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to fill in all of the empty pink concrete that we have around the house. And I actually think it's easier to do it from the inside. So basically, we want to make it so that the entire place is like airtight, right? So what that means is that we just want to fill in all of these empty spaces that require pink concrete. And it's easier to see them from the inside, I think. So for instance, like on the front, you can see where we have this gap above the windows, we just add in a row of pink. You can see here on the sides of the middle, we also add in a row of pink here. And you can see very clearly where we have, where you can see into the outside, where you have to fill in. So just around the roof and stuff, you can see that we have to fill in there. Same on the opposite side here, we've just got to fill in. I know that there's a big portion on the back as well that has to be filled in too. There aren't loads and loads of parts that do need filling in still, but there are quite a few. So like on the back, for instance, you can see here we've got to fill in above the windows and also below the windows down here at the bottom. And we've done quite a lot around here. We've got here as well, like the back entrance. You can see that there's loads of empty space. There's loads of emptiness around the door. So we can just fill all of this in with pink too. And once we have done all of our pink filling in, we do have to add a couple more details to the house as well. But like there it's filled in. I'm going to do all the front as well. So like I know that we've got a little bit here, just around the windows and stuff. Primarily these need filling in, just all with pink. And from the outside it's going to look really, really good. So like I know that do we have to... Oh, yeah, we've just got like this side here and just above the windows, like that. Bloop. And then on the back here, yeah, we've got quite a large portion to fill in here on the back like this. Just like this. No, not there. And we've just got to fill in between as well. And I'm actually going to move outside the house now. And the reason that I'm moving outside the house is because I'm pretty sure that we'll lock ourselves in, because I think this is the last part. But we're just going to fill this in using the pink concrete, and we'll have just this one final row. You see, sometimes it's easy to leave a row or so. Sometimes it's easy not to see it, unless you're doing it from the inside. But now I'm quite confident that we've done, I'm pretty sure most of it, if not all of it. Perfect. Okay, next thing that we're going to do is on the back of the house, I'm going to add a little bit of a step. So I'm going to add white concrete underneath the back entrance, starting from the left glass, going to the right glass, and then I'm going to place quartz slab all the way around it, just so that it looks a little bit fancier. I also want to grab jungle leaves, and I want to place jungle leaves underneath each one of the windows, just to make it look, once again, a little bit more interesting. And the bushes themselves are indeed going to separate. I'm not just going to like join them all together like that. There we go, that looks a little bit better, and it'll look even better later on too, once we have placed all of the path that will be going around the house. There's a significant path that goes, that borders the house, you see, so. Anyway, once you've done that, we're now going to work our way to the front of the house, where there is indeed more detail. So what are we doing on the front of the house? Front of the house, we want to add more bushes. So bushes underneath the right set of windows here, like that. And we also want to add a little bit of something around the windows too. We're going to grab the tall grass and the purple tulip, the pink tulips. And I'm going to add grass around the windows like this. Right? Just grass like all the way around the windows like that. And then I'm going to add tulips around the grass like this. Just to kind of like add a little bit of life. So like I'm going to add grass around the bottoms of the windows like this. And then I'm going to add tulips or tulips, whatever. And I'm just going to have them like border around like that. And that looks quite nice as is. Okay. Next thing I'm going to do is... I just realized how much... doesn't that look great? I've just realized how much of this is actually done. Next, we have to make... It's kind of like... It's not a fountain, but like it's kind of looks like a fountain, but without water. Is that still a fountain? I don't know. Anyway, I'm grabbing the lime concrete and the lime terracotta. And it's kind of tricky to explain the positioning, but if you come and locate this block right here on the front of the build, yeah? So like this is the entrance, you want to locate this block in particular. And in front of this block, you want to knock out, you want to knock out 10 blocks essentially. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, like that. And on top of this 10th one, you're going to want to place a white concrete and then stack it up again. Extend the white concrete to the left by 1. Do 2 bottom left diagonals, 1, 2, down by 2, 1, 2, 2 bottom right diagonals, 1, 2, right by 2, 2 up right diagonals, 1, 2, up by 2, 1, 2, and then 2 up right diagonals like that. Fill the center of this in using lime terracotta. This is to emulate grass. You could equally use grass. Now we have to place something. It's supposed to look like a high heel shoe because there's like a big grass like hedgy bushy thing that looks like a shoe pretty much. So we want to, on top of this left grass in the middle, place 3 lime concrete. 1, 2, 3. We then want to move right by 2. 1, 2. And then we want to place 2 diagonals coming down to the ground, like to the right. 1, 2. So that's the sort of shape that we're going for. We then, beginning in the top left-hand corner of the bush, we want to place a lime concrete, go right, down, right, like that. And do the same here on the opposite side. So you want to take this corner, extend it towards you, left, down, left, like that. And that's all you're looking for, pretty much. It kind of looks exactly like what the bush looks like, except you know, it's you can only go so far in Minecraft, unfortunately. But yeah, that's pretty much what we're going for. And this is what it looks like so far, by the way. It's looking pretty cool. Okay, next thing, we want to dig around the around what we've just made. Basically, you want to dig all the way around the white concrete shape that we've made. Yeah, so like connecting together at the corners and stuff. Dig all the way around it like this. And then place a layer of pink concrete inside of it. Specifically pink concrete inside of it like this. To kind of border it. We then want to dig another row. Okay, so we're going to dig another row going all the way around the outside of the pink this time. Just digging in all the way around it, dig in a layer of pink. Like this. And then we're going to place a layer of pink inside of that. Just like this. That is looking pretty good. We then want to take... Have I done this wrong on... Oh, no, it's this side that I've done it wrong. There we go. That's fine, cool. We then want to take the 3 middle blocks on the front of the, like, these 3 blocks here that correspond with the 3 white blocks. We want to dig 8 rows in front of these 3 middle blocks. So like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and actually it's 9. You want to dig 9 rows. So like this, you want to dig 9 rows, and that'll take you to your boundary. We're then going to fill these blocks in using pink concrete. So we want to fill these in using pink concrete like this. We then want to dig in the ground around the path that we've created, and also around the like fountainy, hedgy, statuey area. You want to dig all the way around it, connecting together at the corners like this. It's quite a lot of area, really. So here and here too, and all the way here. And then we want to fill that in using white concrete. So going to fill all of this in using white concrete. And we're also going to determine where we are going to be digging around the house later too. I'll show you what I mean by that in a mo. So this is what we have so far. You can see that we've kind of got like a path going on. You then, at the top of the fountainous area, you want to take the, like, in front of this, you want to dig another row coming outwards from the end of the fountain like this. And then you want to extend that row all the way left. You want to dig all the way left to the outer boundaries of where the house is. And all the way to the right, you want to dig a row of boundaries all the way over to the right. Like this. And then you want to fill this in using white concrete. Now the reason this is pertinent is because later on we're going to be digging a lot of grass from around the house. And a lot of grass from the entire grounds. As a matter of fact, there'll be no real grass really on the grounds once we've finished. So all the way around the house around there is going to be white concrete. And if you come to the back of the house here, if you take the, like, you know where we have this step here on the back of the house? If you dig to the left and right of the step, and if you dig to the boundaries, and fill those in using white concrete, right? So like, you just dig left and right of where we have this like step down out of the back door. You just dig left and right like this. And then if you just add in a line, add in a row of white concrete, you're going to be able to see where later we are going to be filling in using white concrete. And that pretty much covers it. So like now you can see that we have a line back here. And we have a line on the front of the house if I fly high enough. All of that inside those two parallel bars are going to be, that's all going to be white concrete. So yeah, that's what all that is for. Boom. Okay. The house requires a wall. There's a big wall around the house. But firstly, we want to take the end of the path, which is here and here, and we want to, this is at the front of the house, this is the main entrance. We want to raise up the white concretes by 1, 2, 3, like this. 1, 2, 3, like this. Then we're going to take the bottom white concretes and we're going to extend them outwards using pink concrete. And I am going to place, personally, a row of pink concrete all the way around on top of the grid that I placed earlier. This is why the grid was important. Or at least it was important to me, because this is where the wall is going to be built. So if you have built this grid in your world, this is where you place your pink concrete on, because this outlines the walls of the mansion, the Dreamhouse. And it just, as I keep saying, it goes all the way around, and it's going to create some very clear boundaries for where you are going to be placing the wall. However, if you have not placed the grid, that's perfectly fine. Just make it so that you have a nice even wall going all the way around your dream house. So this could actually be smaller or larger than the wall that you have, that we have now. So you can see that looks quite impressive. I'm also going to place quartz slabs on top of the wall too. This might take a while. You know, something that you might want to do, this is completely up to you. You might want to pop a potion of swiftness if you have access to it. Of course, if you don't have access to a potion of swiftness, then, you know, you're going to have to do this the hard way. However, for those of you that can just pop into creative mode and pop a potion of swiftness, this is one of those times where you're going to want to be doing that, because you're not going to be doing any sort of intricate work. You rarely are just like placing a row of quartz slab on top of the pink concrete. I don't typically like to use potions and stuff in Minecraft when making tutorials, because of course some of you crazy guys could be building this in survival and you might not have access to potions, and if you do, you might not want to be using those to make Barbie's dream house. So it really is up to you, but all in all, we'll end up with something that should look like this. We also have to add a little bit of a gate, so all I'm going to do is I'm going to place 2 rows of oak fence connecting the gate together in the middle, like that, and I'm just going to extend the middle one upwards a little bit. That actually looks horrible. I don't think I'm going to have a gate. I think I'm just going to leave it like that. I think that actually looks better, just being able to walk straight onto the property. But anyway, the only 2 things left to do, ladies and gentlemen, because that's the wall complete. The only 2 things left to do include digging out all of the grass on the front of the house, all this, and I'm going to be placing lime terracotta in it. Yeah, so all of the grass going to replace with lime terracotta, and all of the space, all of the grass in between, like the 2 rows of white at the front of the house and the back of the house, all of that is going to be white concrete. So I am going to go away. I'm going to do all of that, and I'll be back once that is done. And ladies and gentlemen, if you do that yourself, that will be your Barbie's dream house, 100% fully completed. Let's do this. And this is what the dream house will look like once you have done exactly what I've done, which is remove all the grass and replace it with lime terracotta, and also in the relevant areas I have also placed white concrete. So, you know, the line that we had on the front of the build, coming all the way to the line that we had on the back of the build, we have white concrete. And that is it, ladies and gentlemen. I do hope that you have enjoyed this video. If you have, please do remember to hit that like button. I'd really appreciate that. It helps me in the channel out immensely. If you have any suggestions, I'd love it if you could leave them down below. I want to know what you guys want to see in the future. Very, very important to me as well. I love likes and I love suggestions even more. If you would like to keep up to date with the channel and the builds, please do subscribe to the channel and click the little bell next to the subscription button to ensure that you get all my stuff sent directly to your sub box. And if you do want to check out any more things by me, of which we have a massive variety, please check out the comment system and the description below as well. And I think that I've asked enough for you guys. I shouldn't really be asking any more. Thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate every single one of you that does watch my videos, that comments, likes, subscribes, supports the channel. Do appreciate every single one of you so much. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye!